Here's where I want to go appointee for the Trump administration.
Okay, here's where I want to go here. You brought up Trump. You famously had a meeting with Trump, allegedly. I'll let you talk about this. Well, two stories here. If you don't pull up that clip, and then we'll tell this. So regarding Trump, regarding politics, but more specifically regarding Kanye, you mentioned Milo earlier. November 2nd, 2022, Donald Trump hosted yourself and Kanye. At the time, you were Kanye's campaign manager, I want to say?
No, I was comms director. Well,
communications director.
Potentially. I was perspective.
Potentially.
Yeah.
You were working with Kanye.
Right.
Formally or informally?
Informal. Well, informally.
Was he paying you at all?
Yeah, I was being
Okay,
paid.
so that's pretty formal. You guys had dinner at Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence here in Florida. The meeting was at Kanye's request. West said that Trump was really impressed with Nick Fuentes. Trump released a statement after the fact, contacting him earlier in the week to arrange the visit. West, quote unquote, unexpectedly showed up with three of his friends who I knew nothing about, with who Trump dined. The dinner was quick and uneventful. Trump further elaborated several days later that he met with West to help a seriously troubled man who just happens to be black, who has been decimated by his business and his virtually everything else in his life. Then you've got Kanye, recently allowed back on Twitter, I want to say. Elon Musk unbans the account of Kanye West, Ye. Kanye, when you see this, we're calling you Ye, bro.
Yay.
As he pledges to make X the most valuable financial institution in the world. Nick, make sense of what's going on. I mean, we've saw Kanye go on rants that make you look like a JV squad of anti-Semitism. Like, he went there, full on. You met with Trump. You're a huge Trump fan. He sort of walked back the meeting, right? He's like, yeah, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. He unexpectedly showed up. Make sense of what the relationship is with Kanye, what happened with Trump, and what's really going on.
Well, they had a dinner scheduled. I came out there to L.A. To work with EA on political stuff, and that was, so the dinner happened the Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
They reached out to you?
It was a long story how we got connected. It was through a couple of intermediaries to Ye, that is. And so I came out there maybe 4 or 5 days before the dinner. And the night before the dinner, we had a big session in the Donda headquarters, the Yeezy headquarters. And we were talking about politics and everything, and I really shined. You know, they were fielding questions, and unsurprisingly, it wasn't even about those topics that Ye was talking about. It was actually about how do we deal with the issue of gay marriage? And I said, well, you don't attack gay marriage. I said, you promote traditional marriage instead. And anyway, so he loved that, and Ye invites me to go to the dinner with him the next day. And he thought it would be funny. He wanted to fly Spirit Airlines to the dinner. He just thought that would be funny. He's like, I'm going to meet the president on Spirit Airlines.
Okay.
Yeah, in coach.
Amy, you like that one?
It's pretty funny.
Okay.
Yeah, so we wound up, the reservation got messed up, and so we wound up flying United, though, and we got there. And I wasn't even expecting to be at the dinner because I was told that I would probably be intercepted at some point because maybe
You're
if
on
Trump,
a no-fly list.
Well, not even necessarily that, but people are aware of me in the GOP, like Catalina Loft. They don't want me to have that level of access to the president. And so I thought, someone's going to intercept me. I'm not going to be able to sit down. But he came out at the Mar-a-Lago club. He invited us to dine, and we sat down and we had the dinner. And it was relatively uneventful. I mean, the most newsworthy thing that came out of it is that Ye actually did ask him to be his running mate, because that was the thrust of the meeting. Is
Kanye asked Trump to be
his
so
vice
like
president.
Kanye would be the president.
Trump was pretty insulted by that.
Yes.
And Trump. Read the room, Kanye. My guy.
Well, once again, he thought that would be the funniest
Was
thing.
that tongue-in-cheek?
I
Was
think
that
I think he
serious?
was being serious, wasn't he?
He thought it'd be funny, but it was also serious.
Now, did Trump know you were coming to the dinner?
No, he didn't know I was
Okay,
coming.
so it was unexpected.
There were
Now,
3 other people, though. too.
Were you, I guess, how disappointed were you that Trump walked back the meeting with you?
I was actually pleasantly surprised because I thought he would fully disavow, but he didn't fully disavow.
Okay.
He had to. He
Now,
said what he had to say.
You worked with Kanye. How long did you work with Kanye for?
I worked with him for about 6 or 7 months.
Okay, so almost a half a year. That's not like 6 or 7 days like Anthony Scaramucci when he was the comms director of Trump's campaign. So as comms director, or a campaign manager for that matter, what statements would you advise Kanye to walk back that he's made?
Oh, none of it. None of it. I thought that...
You think Hitler invented the microphone?
Well, I don't know what he meant by that. I don't know. I think he meant like a specific kind of a
I don't
microphone.
think Hitler invented the microphone.
Nick,
you don't think...
Whoa, look at the attacks coming down from this side of the panel.
Nick, you don't think that any of those statements...
Bring in Nima. Nima's got something to say about Ye's comments.
Nick, I just want to know respectfully, and I ask this respectfully, do you find it difficult to find a wife that would be okay with you having a micro penis?
Oh my
Okay.
God, bro.
Come on, Nima.
That's
You're making me look better the way you do that.
No, I mean,
by comparison.
I mean, if I was 40 years younger,
Are
and
you
took
interested
12
in my
inches,
penis? You want to go and see it somewhere?
No, I just think if I was 40 years younger and you took 12 inches off my dick, you'd probably try to fuck me.
Nima, that's not even a relevant conversation right now. Let's
back
talk
up.
about it in a valid.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's helping me out here.
Whether it's good or it's bad, whether it's whatever religion, that's a top of conversation. But you guys can go in the back and figure that out later.
Oh, no promises. Okay. No promises. Okay.
But as Kanye's campaign manager, potentially, or communications, some of those comments were beyond shocking. You would say you wouldn't advise him to take back any of those comments?
No, because I got interrupted here. But no, because, and here's the thing, you know, Ye is, well, number one, he's totally serious. Let me just say that. I'm not trying to undermine what he said, but he's also an artist, and he's somebody who, as a visionary, his job is to push the society forward by saying things that are shocking. He said, he explained it on InfoWars. He said, I'm the battering ram. I blow down the door, and we have the conversation. And you know what happened as a result of all of those remarks? What, like them, don't like them, offended, a national conversation took place. And I think that a lot of people became aware of things that we don't talk about. Like, for example, the abuse of athletes and artists with contracts. Nobody was talking about that before. But people wanted to beat him over the head and say, well, you can't say this and you can't say that. What about our suffering? And Ye had the wherewithal to stand up and say, well, what about abortion? What about black abortion? What about the contracts? What about these other things?
But I understand that he does have some points. But if you ever want what you're selling to go mainstream, right? That's what we're talking about here. Look, if you want to be a 1%, like the same advice I'd give to the Green Party or the Libertarian Party or the America First White Nationalist Party, whatever it is, you have to be able to be like, listen, we can't say, yeah, Hitler was actually a good guy. Like, how is that ever going to go mainstream in America?
Sometimes a person isn't out to create something for mass consumption right now. You know,
they're out for themselves, which is what...
Here we go again. I'm a genius, the college-educated genius. Sometimes you have to push the envelope to move the ball forward. And it doesn't, like, for trends to change, for attitudes to change, someone has to be the first mover. Somebody has to stand up and say something that at this time would be considered outrageous.
I think oftentimes it's a pendulum effect as well, and we're seeing it even with like the trans stuff right now. Like everything, like this society just really struggles to find a balance. I feel like before it was like, oh no, trans people, banish them to the furthest corners of society, and now it's like, oh, let's embrace all of them, and you know, kids can. It's like, can we ever just agree on a middle ground? I think that people are responding to the extreme push from the left, and it is creating some very bombastic messages in some regard, but I think there's some validity coming out of it as well.